Robert Budrow is back with another movie, once again starring Ethan Hawke. And last time they made a movie together, the result was Born to be Blue, which I thought was really good and one of the better music biopics I've seen. But this one's not about music, it's about a hostage situation in Stockholm, Sweden in 1973. And if the words hostage and Stockholm together ring any bells, you can probably see where this is going. Because this is the incident from which the term Stockholm Syndrome was spawned. And that's part of the story here, but really only one part of it. Mainly it's about this American man who decides to rob a bank in Stockholm. But there's a whole lot more to it than that, because his motives aren't that simple. He's got a bit of a plan going on, and it's an unusual one. And let's just say he might not be the sharpest guy around either. There are a few holes in that plan of his, which become apparent soon enough. Now basically the entire movie takes place inside the bank, with the people who are stuck there with him. So a lot of it focuses on the people and the dynamics between them, which are somewhat interesting. But at the same time I would call this one fairly plot driven. I'd say the plot is front and center, and that's really what moves the story forward. Not really the characters and their relationships, which isn't necessarily bad. In fact, I think this was a very well-paced movie, and a short one too. It doesn't meander or drag and pretty much just gets to the point, which I appreciate. I also like the humor in it. It kept the mood fairly light throughout. Now I wouldn't call it a comedy or even all that funny, but it does have this comedic lean to it. Almost every scene has a comedic edge to it, with some humor thrown in. That being said, it also does get pretty intense at times. And those parts were really well done, and most of it is well done. In fact, this is one of those movies I didn't really have any serious issues with. It's well directed, well paced, well written, well acted, pretty much everything is well handled. But at the same time it didn't really feel all that special either. It's a decent, perfectly enjoyable movie and time pretty much flew by watching it. But I don't think I got much out of it beyond surface level entertainment. And it's probably not gonna be on any lists of favorite movies this year. I've also seen everyone involved do better too, so I can't claim to have been that impressed. But I will say Ethan Hawke seemed to have a good time playing the lead. I definitely wouldn't say he phoned it in. He did the best he could with the material he was given. And the material was very decent, but not much more than that. But I also think that if you're gonna do a movie about the event that spawned the term Stockholm Syndrome, that part of the story should probably be the main focus of the movie. And I mean, it did get a fair amount of attention, but not enough in my opinion. I feel like they could have probably dug deeper, even if that would have meant making stuff up. Because right now it feels like a side plot, not the main focus. But on the other hand, how much more could they have realistically done with it? Within the constraints of a 90-minute movie and with the information available to them. I don't know how many details there are out there about what went on inside the bank. And if all the people involved have told their stories fully. Or if this whole thing is just based on a few extrapolated details. I don't know, maybe they did the best they could with this story. And as I said, I didn't have any major issues with it. That was just something I thought could have potentially brought the movie up a notch. Made it stand out a bit more, made it more memorable. But overall, it's definitely not a bad movie and I had a good time with it. But would I recommend it? Yeah, I think it's probably worth giving a look. Or not. I'm not your dad. But I am trying to sell out, so consider liking, subbing, hitting that bell and supporting me on Patreon. Because I really need to get myself one of those old school Mustangs. And hey, why not drop a comment below or check out another review? I'd appreciate it. Thanks.